Greetings, and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly edition of our Lunch and Learn.
E is exhaling, having an opportunity to breathe, to rest, to refill yourself and rejuvenate yourself, because no one can pour from an empty cup.
As you evolve and become more of yourself, you begin to attract the people that are there for you.
Amen.
So everything you need is in this space.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Once you make a mistake, oops, sit down, recoup, and then start over. And once you do that, you say, I got that.
See, Juneteenth means to me, I would definitely say empowerment and education.
When I experience it, it's like just coming together and, being a part of something bigger than myself, And
A new start, starting a new chapter, opportunity, new beginnings, all of that good stuff.
Greetings, and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of our weekly Lunch and Learn. Today we have with us Rashad Prince Dauda. He is one of the models that was part of our this year's Juneteenth show. I'm sorry, you guys. I just want to be fully transparent. My dog is barking in the background, a little crazy. You guys may not hear him, but it's driving me a little nuts, so it's throwing me off just a little bit. Bear with me. But today, like I said, we have Rashad Prince Dauda. He was one of our models at this year's Juneteenth event that we have out in Brooklyn. Can we bring Rashad up to the stage, Keisha? We're going to be talking about fashion, diversity, and empowerment. Hey, Rashad, how you doing today?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Jamie.
Hey, welcome. Such an honor to have you here. I know you were part of our show this year. How was that for you?
The show was wonderful. I liked the environment. I liked the atmosphere. The show itself ran smoothly, which is always a plus. Many shows I am a part of, I can't say the same about, but this one ran smoothly. I like the environment. The talent that was showcased, a lot of talent was showcased with the performances, the singers, the dancers. It was awesome. The only thing I didn't like, it was too hot that day. But it was awesome.
I actually did not have the honor of coming home this year. I had some things down here that I had to take care of where I live now in Atlanta. But I am a New York native, and I definitely had a little FOMO this year. Had a little, not FOMO, because I definitely missed out. But I did not get a chance to experience that heat. But I did get to see the replay and see everybody doing their things. So thank you for the nourishment and the feedback. I'm sure Athenia, if she's not watching right now, she'll get to see that. And it's always nice to know, how people are experiencing exactly all of the work and the effort that's put in, and how it actually, what the experience is like for those involved. So before we dive into asking any questions, I would love for you to just introduce yourself to the community. I'm going to fall back a little bit and let you just share a little bit about who you are, what you're up to in the world, and in the world of modeling.
I'm born and raised in Bronx, New York. My parents are Ghanaian. I am of Ghanaian ancestry, first generation American. I got into modeling, I would say, when I was in college. So I graduated 2015. So about 2013, 2012, I started getting into modeling a little more seriously. I was always interested in fashion, but I never took modeling seriously until I done my first fashion show in college, which was back in 2012. It was, I won't say it was, it was more of a school show, so it wasn't really a big time production.
Gotcha. But it was enough to kind of like get your feet in the water and say, I like this. I'm going to pursue this. Check it out.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, so this question is a little off, and I know I said I won't go too far, but I am definitely curious to know, because I know most of my friends of either Caribbean or African descent, typically when they go to college, if they switch over to modeling, there's a conversation that definitely is going to happen. How was that for you? And how did your parents receive that, that information? Like, how did that work out? I mean, it's obviously fine because you're here and you're talking to us as a model today, almost 10 years later. But what was that like?
Ooh. Yeah, so as you said, you was laughing because, you know, the stereotypes has some merit to it. The conversation is, it did have its negatives. It has negatives, you know. Caribbean and African parents, they don't really have the best image when it comes to modeling. But I have conversations with my peoples, and they were comfortable with it for the most part. Most part, they were comfortable with it. They didn't really have much of an issue with it.
I love that. I love that for you. I love whenever we don't have to, you know, push back too much against the parents, because that doesn't make it so easy to go out in the world and do whatever we want to do. Sometimes some people push through and can persevere and go do whatever they want. But when you kind of have that voice in the back of your head telling you that something's not going to work out, it doesn't really help, you know, help you moving forward. But for it definitely has some. I'm like, it's a stereotype because I want going out there. There may have been some American parents that might have also had that same conversation. So, but I definitely know in those households and the friends that I have, the experiences that I've seen, it was definitely a thing. So tell us about your experience in like breaking into fashion, going over from doing a school show to like actually walking in shows and being here. And what are some of the places that you?
All right. Okay. All right, so I think we lost Jamie, but my experience with walking into okay, Jamie's coming back. All right, so I will answer your question right now. So my experience with walking in shows, as I said before, I first started at a couple of school shows when I was in college. I went to Baruch College. I started a couple of school shows there. And then I took some time off after, I think it was like 2015, 2016. So I took some time off briefly. And then I got back into the swing of things 2019. I got back to modeling. So I can't remember. I did so many shows. I did so many. Recently, I did a show with a designer named Adrian Ali. If you're familiar with him, I also did a show with a production called Kent State. These are ones I can remember off the top.
Yes.
Kent State. I did a Juneteenth show, and what was that? That was mid-June, right? I believe.
Yeah, June 19th. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm trying to think of the other show. Yeah, those are the ones I can think off the top. If more come, I would. Oh, I also did another production, Corey Woods. That's another production I did.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love it. So what would you share are some of the challenges that you face in just the industry of modeling?
Okay. So there's two. I don't want to say this as a way to discourage anybody. I would say being obviously dark skinned, you have to be more on point. You have to make sure that your skincare routine is is priority number one. Skincare. Make sure your skin. Make sure you don't have a diet if you are prone to breaking out. By triggered by certain foods, make sure you stay away from those foods. Make sure you get a lot of sleep. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Make sure your skin is always moisturized. That is key. You need as much of a clear face as possible, because that will help you a lot. Another challenge I face too is I don't know if you've seen pictures of me or if they see pictures of me, but I'm more of a more muscular type of model. So that could be an obstacle as well. I didn't let it change me too much. I did cut down a little bit because they wanted to be more agile, but being more muscular model it does hurt me sometimes with certain shows because they want the more slimmer European physique, and I definitely don't fit that.
I got that. I got that. It's super interesting to hear and definitely eye opening because I guess in the world, I mean, just being a woman and the way the world presents women models versus male models, they don't necessarily give you guys as much space to speak, to be like I've never necessarily read, maybe I've read a Tyson Beckford interview maybe, or an article that maybe he was in, but men models are not necessarily highlighted. So I never would have, like, my brain just did not even think of the obstacles that you guys face when it comes to body image. Of course, skin tone, I get that. That's our plight in the whole entire world, no matter what field we're walking in or whatever we're up to.
Yes.
That's something that we just naturally have to face. But I never considered that. So thank you for sharing and even putting that out into the community for people to actually consider if they're interested in breaking into modeling. I know for women, they go through the plus size and, having to stay under that size 3 and 4 and having that same thing, having to face that. So thank you for sharing that. So how do you stay motivated to continue pursuing your passions, having to face certain obstacles such as skin tone and body frame size and structure?
This is where your circle is important. Your inner circle. I have a circle with a lot of model friends who are pursuing the same goals as I am. So your circle is very important. That keeps you motivated the most. I'm a guy who's into, so my field of modeling is more of the fitness, more so fitness kind of. So what keeps motivated is I trying to stay young as much as possible. I'm 33 right now. I want to stay in shape. The modeling helps me to keep motivated to stay in shape. And I'm always seeking opportunities. and wanting to break more barriers.
I was going to say, I love that. So what I hear is that they kind of go hand in hand because you're in that area of fitness, which makes a ton of sense with your body frame. kind of probably makes it a little easier for you to get jobs in that area versus trying to get into a show that has the suits that maybe, you know, not work for your body frame or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense.
I had some episodes with fit-ins that didn't go so well. I was put it that way.
I could imagine. There's a new show. There's a show, Thick something. It's a new one, I believe, Hulu or Netflix, one of the networks, and she is a stylist. So you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes in this actual show. You get to see some of the models. You get to see the conversations, and she's one of those miracle makers that has ends and the different things and will cut the back and do the different things that can actually be done. But I know when you're walking, you can't really cut the back and do anything. But in print, she worked more in print. That was kind of the main difference with that. But that's funny. So when you start opportunities and keeping your eye open for different opportunities, what are some of the accomplishments that you've already had from different opportunities opening up for you?
One is getting into more shows. This past fashion week, the past actually 2 fashion weeks, I've been booked. I've been busy. So I would suggest this. Anybody who wants to break in, don't turn down free shows. But be picky. Be picky with the shows you choose to cast for. Don't turn them down. Because what happens is that show you start out, you might not get paid for that one. But you will make connections with people in the show who will lead you to bigger opportunities. And that's what happened to me.
Got that. I love it. I was going to say, and I think that happens in a lot of different industries, especially any like things that are creative based. You speak, even speakers, hosts, things like that. Sometimes you kind of have to do those jobs for free first to kind of, number one, to me, it allows you to gain experience. And then, like you said, it allows you to gain exposure to people seeing you, exposure to being in the room and being able to be a part of the actual conversations that can definitely, like you said, open doors. So what do you believe are the barriers that need to be broken down in the fashion industry for more, to like create more space for diversity and inclusion?
I'm going to say the one that's starting me first. So, size barrier definitely should be broken. What else? Skin tone. But I do see the skin tone barrier being broken, which is nice. I would say make sure your skin is clear, have your diet on point. And I want to say to men, there's nothing wrong with taking care of your skin. So skin is the first thing people see of you. It is not feminine to take care of your skin. Another barrier I would like to see is there's actually a story that I saw that there was one production that told this girl. She has curly hair. Her hair is similar to probably mine, like a curly fro. My hair is laid down, but hers is like a fro. And he told her to straighten her hair. Straighten her hair, and she doesn't want to do it because you know what happens if we straighten our hair, we could damage it. So she turned down the show. So situations like that should not be happening.
Got that. So how do you see your role way for future generations of people coming behind you? Like, what is it that you like? What do you want your legacy to be in the world of modeling?
Great question. I definitely want to be an inspiration for young models of African, Ghanaian descent, or African in general, African, sub-Saharan African descent. I show them that yes, you will be accepted. There are opportunities for you. It is not the end. Just make sure you put the work in. You got to practice. You got to get more experience. Make sure you work on your physique. Make sure you are very disciplined with your diet, because all these affect your appearance. All of them affect your appearance. And if you know in modeling, your appearance is your moneymaker, is your way, is your livelihood. So make sure that is on point always.
Love it. And who are some of your favorite, some of your favorite people in fashion, and why? That inspired you to even, and actually, as you go into answering that question, could you also share, like, I know in school you mentioned that you started walking in the show at Baruch, but what like even pulled you to that? Was it that you like admired other models or had somebody that you admired already, or is it just something that you kind of like stumbled upon and they were like, hey man, you fit this, we want you to be a model? How did that come about? And then share the rest of like the answer to the rest of that question, or the opening question.
So I'll answer the second part. I got into modeling because that was around the time that I started working out very seriously. I started to be more consistent with my fitness, taking it more seriously. So I was just saying, why not just show it off? Why not show it off? And I watched guys like Tyson Beckford. Like Beckford is one that I watch a lot. Boris Kojo, since he's half Ghanaian, so that's another guy I looked up to. Tyrese, another one. He kind of fits. He fits my type too, because he's also a dark skin model. He was a dark skin model for Calvin Klein. Yeah, for those who don't know, Tyrese was a model before he was a singer. So these are the people that I looked at when I wanted to start.
Gotcha.
And then I just went to a casting, and it was the first one I went to, and I got selected. I'm not gonna say it happened like that for everybody. There are many castings I did get turned down from. Oh, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna get picked for all of them. You're not gonna get picked for all of them. There's gonna be times when you get picked for maybe one. There's gonna be times you get picked for maybe 10. There's gonna be times you get picked for none.
Gotcha.
It happens.
Gotcha. So sometimes it may be your season, sometimes it's not, or some people just have that. I think too, it all depends on, like you said, kind of leveraging yourself and those opportunities and showing up in spaces where sometimes they're looking for a look.
Yes.
So if you kind of pay attention to someone's line and who they already have representing them, you can like, that's probably a way to kind of like feel your way into a show. I would think it's just kind of looking at what type of models they go with already, or even just their fashion and how you could actually pull it off. Because I think it's also about owning in fashion at times.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. So if they don't select you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're, how can I say this? I don't want to say this. you're not attractive. That it just means pretty much you don't fit what they are looking for. They have a certain look in their mind. A lot of designers, you might not fit that look. Like, let's say I go to a casting, and a production or a designer is looking for a dark skin model with locks, tattoos, piercings. I obviously don't fit that. I don't fit that type. Or they're looking for European with long straight hair. I don't fit that type. So they have certain types they're looking for their line. It's just how.
Just the way it goes, and you can't take that personal.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So you mentioned Boris Kodjoe being of half Ghanaian descent. How would you say you're being from Ghana? How has it influenced your approach to fashion and the work that you do?
Yeah, one thing I'm liking these days is the agbaya. That's what we call it. It's the Ghanaian dresses we wear for festivals, for parties. I'm sure you've seen it with the African prints and everything. I'm liking how that is being more embraced in the mainstream now. It's being more mainstream. I've seen more West African designers on the runway.
Love it.
Which is awesome. So that's always a plus. It's always a plus to be able to wear my country's garments.
Oh, I love it. As a matter of fact, one of my little cousins got married last year, or the year before, and his wedding outfit, and of course we are of African descent, but not first generation or second. We're more like we don't even know where. Yeah, basically.
We're still family.
But it was gorgeous. Like, him and his wife looked so beautiful, and it definitely, it's a thing, and I love it. I love it. I love the fact that it's America and we can do whatever we want, and you should be able to come and wear your garb. I know in my area from the Bronx, that's what they call it, wearing your garb. You come out in your garb all suave and whatnot. Definitely growing up in the Bronx, I have exposure to the outfit to know what they look like and see people going to service or going to the mosque or, wherever they decide, or to the parties, definitely. If you know anything about Tracy Towers up in the Bronx and Mashalou, it's a large African community there of different countries, and
yes,
decked out. I have been walking through that lobby and just been in awe, feeling like I was in Eddie Murphy's watching Coming to America all over again. And it's like, in person, in real life, it's definitely a sight, a beautiful, beautiful sight. So yeah, I'm grateful that you're able to be yourself out in the fashion world, and you don't have to hide where you're from or what you like to wear, and you can actually represent. That's so dope. So what advice do you have for other African American fashion designers, models, and professionals trying to break through in this industry? As far as, I know you shared some different things, but can you kind of summarize that for the community, for anyone out there that might be wanting to break through?
Okay. If you want to break through as African American, black model, black designer, African designer, just keep going, keep seeking opportunities, keep going to castings. Definitely as a model, make sure, I emphasize this. I know I'm gonna hit this on the nail. I want this to be a key takeaway. As a model, make sure your skin is. Make sure you have a skincare routine. Make sure your skin is as clear as possible. As clear as possible, because especially when you are taking digitals, they want a bare face, so you can't really use makeup. So make sure your natural skin is as clear as possible. Make sure you have digitals. That is key, or comp card. It looks more professional when you go to castings. It looks more professional. You have a comp card. It shows them that, okay, he means business. He knows what he's doing. Instead of going in, I've seen this a few times with newer models, not experienced. They go in without a comp card, or they say they have it on their phone. In this age, I know phones are becoming a thing now, where we can send the comp cards through digitally. But right now, it's better to always carry a physical comp card and make sure you update them as much as possible. And for designers, be yourself. If you have a very wild style that is out there, embrace it. Embrace it. There's gonna be shows that will want that look, that want that style. Not everybody wants the suits tie all the time. People want to see other kinds of shows, swimwear, party show, African designer show. They want to see different kinds.
Got that. All right. So that actually, I'm like, you actually also answered my kind of next question. You kind of summarized what you'd like them to take away from today. Question for you, I think that came up for me, if there is someone out there in the community that was interested in like checking in with you to ask you about skin routine, because you've pointed that out, how important it is. So would you be willing to consult people, or can they come and like just ask you questions on your social media, or like how do you interact, and how would you want people to follow you and keep up with what you're up to?
Okay. Is there a way I can put my Instagram on the screen?
Yep. If you drop it in our chat, Keisha will take care of it for you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me put it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know something that I've been told in my communities for like the last few years is that when you know something, teach it.
Yes, always share the knowledge. Always teach.
Yeah. So I'm like, if there's something that they would like to know, it's a beautiful thing for them to be able to reach out, or even just to be able to ask you questions, especially for any young men that this may come across that might, be in those early years and literally, that's
I'll just share on the screen for everybody to see. That's my focus. Yeah, you can contact me on Instagram. You can ask me questions. And for men, it is not feminine to care about your appearance. It is not feminine to care about your skin. Because I grew up in the Bronx, and the stereotype, or if you're trying to be a pretty boy, it comes with some negative connotations.
Yeah. Thankfully, the world has shifted away from that a little bit, but it's still a thing. It's definitely still a conversation that goes and still swirling around. You would think at this point where you have so many people you have Rock Nation, you have all these major parties and shows and these productions that are put on. No one's going and just looking like anything. So why does it have to be looked like that anymore? Why can't you just want to look presentable? And it doesn't have to be about, I know in my generation, it was pushed a lot around when you go out in the world and you want to get a job in corporate and you have to look like this. And it's not just about that. My mom has a belief of when you look better, you feel better. And then you go out in the world and you can actually do better.
Yes. There is psychology with that. Yes. The clothes the clothes you wear, your appearance, when you actually remember, you gotta be confidence is key, but your confidence is much more authentic when it's backed up by something. And the first thing you backed up by is your appearance. If your appearance is spot on, if it's good, it's going to make you feel a lot better. It'll make you more uplifted. And also, it's going to help with your walk when you go to castings. When they're going to see the confidence in your pep, in the pep in your step, they're going to see you more fierce on the runway. That will help you a lot in the long run.
Love it. Love it. So over here at Juneteenth, we've been having a conversation for the last maybe month or two, and we are in the 50th year of hip hop. So as we start to wind down our conversation and go into the last few questions, I would love to start with you sharing with us who your favorite hip hop artist is and why.
So for rap, is Nas. Nas is my favorite artist. Nas. For R&B, my favorite is Usher. Usher is my favorite R&B artist. And my overall favorite artist of all time is the GOAT, Michael Jackson.
All right. I love it. I love it. I was going to say, I definitely even love the fact that you've brought in folks that the world may not necessarily deem as hip hop artists, but without hip hop, Usher wouldn't have the sound or the movements or any of the stuff. It definitely all has hip hop laid all over some real old school R&B. And then Michael is, like you said, the GOAT, and so many people pull from him. I'm like, down here, I live in Atlanta, but you know, one of our natives, he's always on my news line because he's from here. But Offset these days has been walking around. His music videos a lot of times play homage to Michael Jackson. He wore it to Beyonce's concert, his little Michael Jackson jacket. So it's definitely like all over hip hop as well. So I let you kind of give that a broad answer. Thank you for that. What question that I've never really even asked before, but it's here and it's approved. So what is Kwanzaa for you? And do you celebrate it?
So I'm Muslim, so I don't necessarily celebrate Kwanzaa, but what I know about Kwanzaa is a holiday that is about family. It's like a family gathering, gather at the family. I believe they light candles, for each day.
Yes.
What is it? Is it 10 days or?
It's 7, and there are different principles for each day. I didn't grow up celebrating Kwanzaa either, but I was definitely exposed to it in like elementary school and through different friends of my mom and friends that she had that were in different communities. But my real last final question for you. Mm-hmm. And actually, before you answer this question, I would love for you to just say any last words to the community. I know you've given them their gems to walk away with, but if there are any last words that you'd like to share with the community before we depart today, share them now. And then if you could share, what exactly does Juneteenth mean to you?
All right. So my last words is, please don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. But make sure you put the work in. Make sure you know what a particular agency, if you do want to go that route, make sure you know what they're looking for. And try your best to mold to that type but don't change yourself too much that you're not yourself anymore. So you want to still be yourself, but try to kind of, I don't want to say compromise, but try to mold a little bit if that's the route you want to go. Be confident, put the work in, keep pushing, keep pushing. There's opportunities out there. There's opportunities out there. There's people that want to see you succeed. I want to see you all succeed. Let's go for it. And Juneteenth is a holiday that it means success. It means accomplishment. It's the holiday that slavery ended. So right there is a big confidence booster that we got to win. We got a W. And it's more wins on the way that's coming to us.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you, Rashad. This conversation was super, it was a good one. I really liked it. Very authentic and about something, again, that I've never really considered. You know, the world, we all have different areas. There are areas where women are overlooked. There are areas where men are overlooked. Like in your world, I'm sure you got. But when you see certain things, like they expose us, how long have we known the Naomi Campbells, the Imans, the Beverly Johnsons, like so many huge names on the women's side of things, even going to on the other side, the Cindy Crawfords, like these names have been huge in households, whether it be through being able to transfer over into movies, all kind of things, makeup and different things. Whereas with men, the lane is a little narrower. I guess that maybe that's what it is, because we have so many more products and different things to actually showcase and highlight, you know, because I'm thinking back to my childhood and many of these people I know because of Maybelline, or I know because of, you know, a product that was sold. Whereas for men, you know, you guys have cologne. And again, if they would normalize skincare, there's a whole nother lane that, you know what I mean, could be so much larger. That could be so much larger for you guys. But let's break these barriers. Let's knock these walls down, and you keep on pushing. And thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of Juneteenth. I hope that you end up walking with us again, and I wish you the best of luck.
And thank you for having me. Thank you for having me in your show. Thank you for having me, Jamie, talk.
No problem.
My wisdom that I experience.
Amen and Ashe. Thank you. I will see you behind the scenes, Rashad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, community. I hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation as much as I did, and are walking away with a little bit of knowledge about something that you didn't know about, or that your eyes are open to share with your young ones, your sons, your nephews, your cousins, anybody that you think might be able to do this out in the world like Rashad is. So I will see you guys, same place, same time next week. Thanks for being with us. Greetings and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly edition of our Lunch and Learn.
E is exhaling, having an opportunity to breathe, to rest, to refill yourself and rejuvenate yourself, because no one can pour from an empty cup.
As you evolve and become more of yourself, you begin to attract the people that are there for you.
Amen.
So everything you need is in the space.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Once you make a mistake, oops, sit down, recoup, and then start over. And once you do that, you say, I got that.
See, Juneteenth means to me, I would definitely say empowerment and education.
When I experience it, it's like just coming together and, you know, being a part of something bigger than myself, you know. And
A new start, starting a new chapter, opportunity, new beginnings, all of that.